My name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're being that change that you want to see in this world. It is so important, that we do, that we work on ourselves, and there's so many ways that we can be the change that we want to see in the world. So anyway, I want to reach out to all of you and make sure you're being kind, not just to yourself, but to other people around you. No matter the person, it might be a person that you love, and it might be a person that is there for you, like I hope, your husband or your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend. If they're not there for you, you might be in the wrong relationship, you know. And not everybody in our life is good for us to be around anyway. So if there are people that are not good, that they discourage you and they criticize you and they put you down, you might have to let them go, like Starlight has. But no matter who is in your life, be kind. They do have that saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's best just to walk away. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Or to be wise in what you say, where they have, they can't say anything back. You definitely have to use wisdom, on that part is where, whatever you said, you didn't react in a wrong way. You reacted in the correct way. And, you said your piece. Sometimes we do. We need to stand up for ourselves, and face those people. But be thoughtful what you say and the energy, because, like my friend has told me, is the ones that anger you are the ones that are controlling you. So you don't want to get angry at anyone, because I know there's times Starlight goes through and has a stranger that's having a fit, and they need to take a chill pill. So I do not respond in a negative way. I just rub it, get it out of here. I'm not going to have them ruin my day. So anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. I'm glad that you came to give me a visit. And, I really want to reach out to all of you beautiful souls out there that do take the time to watch any of my videos or have subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And, we need each other. I'm here helping you. It's a give and take, so I really appreciate all of you that have taken the time to watch my videos. And if you are new, you can find me on YouTube, and that is Starlight, and that's Kathy with a K, Dingman. And I want to jump in this. Also, if you want to be a change in this beautiful world, like this video so you can help me to help other people to be the change that you and I want to see in this world. So besides liking, you could share my videos with a cat, a bird, a dog, um, a crow. Starlight loves crows. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can leave a message down below. Bing, bing, bing. Plus, you can push the notification bell. Starlight will have fun ringing her little bell. And you can also follow me on Instagram, and that is at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook at Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. So anyway, Starlight had a very interesting morning today. So I'm working on a new video, but I'm going out and I'm taking a whole bunch of pictures out in public, out in my area, so I think that might be the thing that I'm going to be doing today, is going around taking pictures of different things. That way it's easier for me. I'll have it all on my computer, after I get it uploaded on my computer. And so anyway, is today I want to reach out to all of you beautiful souls out there, is to ask you, Do you really love yourself? Do you really love yourself? I hope that you are loving yourself like the universe wants you to. A lot of times we think that we love ourselves, but then you know what? You might find out as I talk, you might not love yourself as much as you think. And it's about self-love. So Starlight was thinking a long time ago, I thought self-love was by taking a bubble bath and really, slowing down and not being in such a rush, like taking a quick shower and jumping out. So, and then, I discovered that that wasn't really the self-love out there that we're talking about right now. Self-love is, like, are you being kind to yourself? Or are you criticizing yourself? Are you being too hard on yourself? And that happens, because of our past. And it could be the way we were brought up. How was your mom and dad to you? Were they criticizing you? Were they embarrassing you all the time? Were they always pointing at your flaws and not looking at your strengths? There's families out there that do this, that they might actually tell their relatives about you and say, oh, you wouldn't believe what this, my child did this week. And, where you walk in on a conversation, you might hear your mom or dad talking to a friend or a relative. And what's the whole conversation about? You. Yeah, they're talking about you, how bad you were, that whole week, you were on summer vacation and, you got into trouble and now everybody knows what you did, you know. So there are families out there that do this with their kids and they think they're helping them out. They think that, oh, if I talk bad about my kids and they hear about it, that they're going to want to change and not be bad. But really, it's not really helping your children out. And you might be, while I'm mentioning this, you might be that parent that thinks that way right now. You might be, uh-oh, like you go to maybe the teacher conference day and, there's times that, if you have your kids go into public school is, you got to really think twice of what you're talking about your kids. Are you like trying to look at the bright side, trying to understand that they're going through some stuff. And a lot of times I have to say is kids get in trouble is because they find themselves getting bored because, a lot of times the parents are ignoring them. They're not getting them stuff to do, so you want to give your kids things to do. Don't just have them, like sit around and play video games all day. No, you know, um, get them outside, take them for a hike, give them some jobs at the house to do, give them some work to do. Make sure they are not bored. That's what happens to a lot of kids. They get bored and then they get in trouble. It happens a lot. The police department, they know like when kids get out of school, that means that they got to keep their eye open out for kids and teenagers, when they are off from school. Because if they don't go back to school for summer vacation or they don't join in some kind of group activity for summer vacation, a lot of these kids are going to go out at different hours of the day and they're going to go through the towns. They might do graffiti, paint with, get some spray paint, somehow or another they get spray paint, and they go around and, they just do their artwork out, out in public. And sometimes that artwork is not good, right? So you want to make sure you keep your kids busy, give them good things to do, work. There's nothing wrong with putting your kids to work. It will actually help them to get ready for their future, to understand that's what they're going to do when they get older is to work. Things do not all come free, and that, if it does come free out there, like taking government money, a lot of times in that way is that they're not going to they're not going to feel good about themselves because they're not out there working. They're not actually going out and like working and achieving things and they're going to feel low about themselves. They're going to feel bad about themselves. And sorry about that. I thought I turned my phone off. If you heard that noise, is also if they're getting government money, they're barely going to make enough, get enough for the month. They're going to be stricken every month, every single month, and then they're going to feel low about themselves and they're going to be waiting for that next paycheck. So that is just a tip for family members out there that who has kids to really be cautious of what you say in front of your kids, you know, and if they are getting in trouble, that means that you need to find something for them to do. You know, take them out somewhere, take them for a hike. They need to, like sometimes parents leave their kids alone and they're not even old enough to stay. You might think, oh, the state law says that. I'm just going to throw an age out here. I really don't know what the state law is for leaving your kids home alone. Say if it's 12 years old that you can leave your kids home alone. But what if your child that is 12 years old has a lot of growing up to do, even though their legal age of being home alone without you getting in trouble by the law because somebody ratted you out and said, "Oh my, this kid is being neglected." Well, if your child is not old enough and mature enough to be home alone, then, maybe 12 years old is not the right age. You do not want to have your kids home where they're going to play with fire and, get into trouble because take it from somebody who knows. When my parents left the house when I was little, Starlight was getting in a lot of trouble. So you want to make sure your kids are busy. Be cautious of what you say in front of your kids. They do have ears. You might be on the phone talking to your family members, or somebody, a friend saying, "Oh yeah, Billy is always getting in trouble, every time I turn around, Billy's in the other room. You might think that Billy can't hear you, but Billy heard every word, and it doesn't actually help your children be good. It's going to make the problem worse. So if you might be the adult that went through that when you were a kid, please be kind to yourself and not just to yourself, to be kind to other people. Avoid those kind of people that give you a hard time. Stay away from them. You do not have to be around them. Sometimes people feel like they have to be around people because they help them out, but then there's a downfall to that, where you're like, hey, they help me out here and there, but be careful with that. That is a trap. They might draw you in where you do get stuff from them. I've had to let people go in my life. I had jobs. I was getting jobs. I was making money through that particular person with my cleaning business. They gave me work. I wasn't lazy. Yeah, I'll take that job. But then it's like there's strings attached. So I had to cut the string. And when I cut the string, that means that that job and possible other jobs and the money that I could have been making, I had to cut that string and saying, you know what, I had enough. I'm not gonna let this happen any longer. And that's what I did. And after I did that, boom, God blessed me, the universe blessed me with a beautiful vehicle because I struggled for years with that particular person. And once I cut that string, of the way that person was treating me, trying to control me, I love myself enough that I realized I had to let that person go. I love myself enough that I had to let go a lot of people because it was all about them. I still, at this day, even though I let those people go, I don't go visit them anymore. The only time they call me up on my phone is, "Hey, Starlight, can you come and drive all the way to my house to help me out?" That's the only time I get and I'm not even kidding. I'm not exaggerating. That's the only time they call me up is because they want me for something. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to lie to them. I'm going to be honest with them, but I have to be cautious of what I say, you know. So I'm like, sorry, I'm sorry. This is how, you need this from me. You want me to drive all the way to your house an hour, and then you want me to drive another like 45 minutes to drop something off somewhere, and then another 45 minutes to get back to drop you off because I know that you're going to want to ride with me, and then another hour of my time being wasted and the gas money to put in my vehicle. And besides, I got to protect my energy from that person. What is this person going to do? This person's going to talk about negative stuff, negative stuff, nitpicking stuff, talking about the past. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to, I'm not going to put myself in that situation with that particular person. I love that person, but you know what? I can't help them out. So instead of me going there and doing all this stuff for them because that's all they ever want is want, 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 want. They didn't even ask how I was doing. They didn't even care. It was like, you know what? I got a hold of that person and I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't talk to that person directly, but I talked to a person that's near them, you know, um, as I said, hey, I'm sorry, but I cannot help you out. You need help. That person needs help. They got areas right in your town that you could drop that stuff off instead of having me to drive all the way from where I live, my time is very precious and very valuable. I got to do YouTube videos. It takes hours to actually to make videos, edit them, upload them again and upload them again, or it takes 3 times to upload just one video the way I am doing it, because I got one editing thing, another editing thing, and then I upload it to YouTube. So that takes time, and then I got to take care of myself. I have to go out and meditate like I already did this morning. I have to take time and do my yoga that I love. I'm not giving up my yoga to go help somebody else. It doesn't even, the only time they ever call me up like they did before was only when they needed something. You know, I need you. I need you. I need you. I need you. I know. I want you. I want you to help me out. I need you to help me out. You should help me out. Guilt trips is people putting a guilt trip on you, thinking that because you're related to them that you got to. You know what? If they are related to you, you still don't have to. And that is what we've been brainwashed to believe. Maybe it could be your mom or your dad or your brother or sister, and we've been believing in our whole life that we got to be there for these people, or your friend. It could even be your friend that, like, I got to be there for them. No, you don't. If they're not helping you to evolve, to help you be your greatest version of yourself, to be the change that you want to see in the world, as long as you're not harming yourself and you want to better yourself, and there are people that are tripping you up, that are trying to pull you off that path that you are deciding to do, you got to really let them go. I can't tell you what to do. You got to decide on your own. God gave us a free will to decide on our own what we think is right or wrong in our life. So you could go and try whatever you want, but there's consequences on what, if you get a thought that you want to try something, but then you get these other thoughts that are not your own. All these thoughts are not your own. Is that you might be like, something might be in the back of your head, your intuition or something. You got your ego, and then you got your intuition. So you got to know the difference. Your ego will mess you up, and your intuition will try to keep you safe and guide you in the right way in your life. So you got to really be careful of when your intuition is speaking to you, because your intuition is going to keep you safe. So your intuition might say, Starlight, that person is not a great person to hang out with. You know, how do you feel after that person? Did they distract you from what you could have been working on? Like if I listened to what everybody else wanted me to do, I would be just sitting around for freaking hours talking about nonsense, nothing that even really has any valuable, like of anything to talk about, things of the past, horrible things that happened, long time ago, you know, pulling me back. And, I don't want to talk about the past. What's back there? Nothing good, really. There's nothing really good back there. It's all about right now, what I'm doing right now, working on myself. So if you really love yourself, there's times that it's called tough love. Sometimes we love people, and it's nothing wrong with loving those people, but they might not be the greatest for our mental, like our mental thoughts. They could be planting bad seeds of, thoughts in your mind space. You know, um, Maybe, like I have done like artwork before, showed it to certain people that I knew, and, they criticized my artwork. Oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I really didn't need that, blah, 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 because that wasn't encouraging me. There was nothing wrong with what I made or created. It just was that I'm never good enough. And you don't want to be around people like that are always nitpicking everything that you do. Anytime you say something great about yourself, they got a negative. You know, you say something positive, they got a negative. Because you know what? You're trying to do right and you're trying to stay focused on your goals. As long as you are not trying to harm yourself, you're keeping yourself safe and you want to be a greatest version of yourself, you want to be the change in your life, you're going to get people that are going to try to trip you up. So those are ways of loving yourself by letting those people go. And it's tough love. I love you, but I gotta let you go. Starlight's gotta let you go. You're criticizing me. You're tripping me up. You're playing mind games with me. You're playing with my head. You're playing with my emotions and all this stuff. I gotta let you go. Sorry, but I can love you from a distance. I love you from a distance. That's it. You know, I love you. It's that, I forgive you. I understand. Forgive them for they know not what they do. That's what the Bible says. I got that on one of my stars in my bedroom, as I do. I understand that there's people that do things and they have no clue what they're doing or what they're saying. So you don't want those people to affect you in that negative way. And besides letting people go, how are you with your thoughts? Are you like just feeding into those thoughts that are not your own? Thinking that, like you're not good enough, you're never going to make it, you're stuck. You know, I feel stuck right now. You're not stuck. You got to change that way of thinking. Is that because another day is a new day to start? I got this beautiful shirt on today. It's what, like this is like my maybe second or third time wearing this shirt. And it's a good day to be happy. So this is the kind of vibe that you want to put out in the world to be that change in the world. Forget about those people that are putting you down. And I hope that you're not putting yourself down, because of their way of thinking and what they have put onto you, because that's what happens. We might hear things that our parents said a long time ago, acting like you're not smart enough, acting like you don't do enough, acting like you're never going to make it. You might have a goal and people just, instead of encouraging you that you want to go get this job, that's a great job, they discourage you. Don't let people do that to you. Put your foot down. Don't open up your ears to that nonsense. You got to be strong and like, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do because this job, like will keep me, this is a job that I would love to do. Now, if you're going to go for a job that you can't stand and you're trying to get that job and you got a friend or a family member saying, you know what, you're worth more than that job, you know, you could get a better job, that you would be happy. You want to be happy. Why get a job, that you're going to be miserable, that you dread even getting? You're like, like I could, work at Burger King. Okay, Starlight knows what that job is like. I was a slave. I knew I was a freaking slave in that company. Give me a break. I was only making $8 an hour with two kids, and I didn't get a lot of hours because my kids, I can't, when I was making $8 an hour, do you think I could really, at those years, way back when, to get a babysitter? By the time I get a babysitter, that's why the system is so screwed up for single people that don't have a husband in their life or a guy or a girl in their life to raise up two kids. They go get a babysitter. By the time you pay a babysitter that hour, it's more than what you're making to survive. So why would you want to go get that Burger King job, where you're not going to have any money? It doesn't make any sense. That's why I really was upset with the government and doing my taxes, being a single mom with two kids. You're serious. You want to take Starlight's money after she worked so hard for the $8 an hour when I don't have a man to help and support me to bring up my kids up in this world, and you're going to tax me on my money that I'm making? My kids were in school, but I only could get the hours that my kids were in school, so I had to walk them. I had to, I didn't have a car. I had to drop them off on foot. I had to walk 4 hours a day, dropping my kids off at two different places because my son was in daycare, my daughter was in school. I didn't have a vehicle. I couldn't afford one at the time. You know, um, so it was crazy that I was walking 4 hours just to drop them off and go to work, pick them up and go home. So my kids were in school the hours that I was working. You know, it would be silly for me to get it, and I didn't trust anybody with my kids. Who am I going to trust? Like sometimes you can't trust your family, and if you don't know anybody, the system's so backwards. Oh, it's okay for me to go and hire somebody out of a newspaper. At those years, it was newspapers. It wasn't online. I didn't have a computer to go hire a stranger that I don't even know to watch my babies. Man, I would stick my finger up. Screw that. I don't understand their laws. They'll turn you in for something that's not you don't have any control over. Child abuse, and it's like, it's my landlord's responsibility. It's not my responsibility, but, sometimes you get turned in for child abuse when you weren't even doing nothing to your kids. So, you gotta really think of what kind of job. Do you love yourself enough to be patient for the right kind of job that you can be proud of when you get it? You might want to start your own business. What are you good at? Starlight did that. That was the best thing I did my whole life. Besides I have two beautiful babies, is that and besides I got saved, I became a born again Christian, is that I went and I um, started my own business. I created Starlight Cleaning. I loved doing what I was doing, cleaning houses. Now I know that might not be what you would love to do because not everybody, believe me, not everybody loves to clean, but like I only started this YouTube channel is because I realized I wasn't doing my life purpose. So it really is so important that you get a job that you love and that you're getting paid the right amount, kind of money. Maybe you could do something online. There's so many things online that you can do to make money. Like maybe you need to research it, and find out different ways of making money. Something if you're good with computers, you know, hey, I'm learning. I didn't know nothing about anything really with computers about having a YouTube channel, and I am doing it. And I just was doing something last night, so something else I'm working on. So I'm so excited because I'm here learning, and it does. It takes patience to grow and to learn different things, and you got to get out of yourself. You need to find time, like to work on yourself. And you say you love yourself, right? Okay, here we go. Are you ready? I do. Starlight loves you. And I only do this because I do. Sometimes I think I got a little too much love in me. And so I do. I love you. Are you eating the right kind of food? You know, People love to eat things that taste really good, even though they know it's not good. Starlight ate a lot of fast food long time ago when I was homeless because I had no way of cooking. and I found myself eating at Burger King because I at Burger King or McDonald's, I definitely would always pick Burger King, is I like their choices better. Um, and then I was eating a lot of Burger King food or Stort's food, because hey, I could eat it. I didn't have a microwave in my car, right? But I did. I did have a microwave. You can microwave your food in your car. I actually do this in the summertime. I was doing this is I would make a meatless taco, and I would heat it in my microwave at home, and then I would wrap it in aluminum foil, and then it would have to be a sunny day to do this, but then I would go and go hiking or go in the park, and I would take that foiled up, like I would have my taco in there, all the goodies yummy in there, making me hungry. I love tacos and hot sauce, so I would put everything in my little, like my foil, have it all nice and wrapped up. Then I would put my foil with my food in there, whatever it is, it could even be a plastic container as long as you heat it up at home and you just stick it on your dashboard in your car. Make sure the sun is shining on your dashboard, and you gotta heat it up, whatever. You like a melted peanut butter sandwich. Starlight eats a lot of peanut butter sandwiches. So whatever you need, heat it up. You might not even have to really heat it up in your house. I have not tried that, but I microwave the stuff first, at my house, and I wrap it up. You don't want to stick the aluminum foil in your microwave. Absolutely not. But hey, you put that and put it in your dashboard in your car. Make sure the sun is there. Hours later, you're like, wow, this is so hot. You're eating it. You're like, wow, this is really cool. It's a hot taco, after you got done hiking. And it's plenty. I'm telling you, you will burn your mouth. It will get that hot with that aluminum foil wrapped around there. So, you do. You learn a lot of stuff when you go homeless. So I have learned a lot of stuff being homeless. And so do you love yourself enough that you change your eating habits? Are you eating enough fruit? I love to eat fruit and I love to eat vegetables. I really do. So I am a vegan, and I'm not saying you got to go vegan, but maybe you might want to lighten up on some of the stuff that you're eating that you know is not good, like sugary food. I don't eat dairy anymore. That was a tough one. I don't eat eggs anymore. That was really tough. Chicken. That was tough. I ate a lot of chicken out of chicken or beef. I ate chicken more or seafood or fish. Starlight loved her fish, but I let that go too. And the reason why I really decided to do that is I never wanted to eat my animals my whole life. But when I was a kid, I was forced to eat eat friends that I didn't know I was eating. I was very upset when I found out I was eating a rabbit one day, a wild rabbit. And, one of my brothers thought it was funny to tease me while I was saying, this is really good. And he's like, how's that rabbit taste, Starlight? I was like, huh? I was out in the woods playing with rabbits and chasing animals around, and I was so upset when I found out I was eating my friends, and so years later, my twin flame let me know, go vegan. And so I ended up letting go of beef first, and then I worked on all the meat. I let go one after another. The last thing I let go was seafood, because fish always I really was able to handle fish out of all the poultries or meat. Fish was the greatest thing that I was eating, but I let that go too because you know what? I used to fish, I used to catch fish out in the ocean, and I gave my fish and pole away, all my tackle box to my grandson, you know. So, fish has feelings too. I got that from a tarot, not actually a numbers lady. She was saying that how she eats fish, and she goes, I know they have feelings. And so, you know what, really, those animals do have feelings, so you're eating something that's been tormented, for you to eat, and if that doesn't bother you, hey, I can't tell you what to do, but really the cow has feelings, the chickens have feelings, The fish, I was fishing. That was the only thing I did actually, I had my hunting license. I still had my hunting license. I never did get a deer though. And that actually agreed to my system too, is venison meat, not really beef. I lived off of venison meat for like a year, and it was horrible to go back to. Oh, I'll tell you what, if you eat me, I can't stop you, but really, if you're a vegan, if you eat venison meat, and if you can do that, try to do that. Like, I'll tell you, try to do that for a whole year. And then, right, after you do that for a whole year, go out and buy that nasty hamburger. Ugh. Oh, man, I'm telling you, the smell. I couldn't handle the smell in my house because I was cooking up hamburger. I ran out of venison meat, and I was cooking up a meal, and the smell of the beef was so disgusting. It wasn't the same anymore. But I did give up my beef and all my meat, my poultry and stuff like that, and then I worked from like letting go of all the food and poultry. Then I became a vegetarian. Then I was letting go of my cheese, letting go of white bread. I didn't really eat white bread anyway, but any white products, like noodles or whatever. And now I'm a vegan. So if you love yourself enough, you'll start eating better, food that is healthier for you. Start letting go of things that are not so healthy. And I know this video is getting long. I hope you're getting out in nature. I hope you're taking walks. It's good for your body. It's good for you to get out and get some air. It's good for you to get that sun. It is so important, especially, in the wintertime. You really need to get your sun. I actually wasn't getting enough sun before, where I had to, take vitamins, vitamin D, to make sure I was getting enough sun, in my body, enough vitamin D in my body, because winter the sun doesn't shine as much as it does in the summer, you know. So you do. Exercise is really important. You want to keep those joints moving, and that's why I love to do yoga, stretching in my body. It keeps me in the now moment. It keeps me where I'm learning balance. It's stretching out my muscles and my body out, my joints. Wow. I wasn't able to reach my toes before when I started doing yoga. Now I can sit on my butt with my legs straight out, and I can touch my toes now because I've been working on yoga almost every single day. I think there's 2 days that I missed, um, for whatever reason. So you really do. If you love yourself, please get out and take a hike. Get out in the woods somewhere. Get that vitamin D. Get some air. Move move that body. If you like to jog or ride a bike, do it. My minutes are running out. So anyway, I do love you. That is self-love. That is taking care of yourself. The universe wants you to take care of yourself. Make the time to take care of yourself. Work on your diet. If you know that the soda is not good for you, or that sugar, let it go. You're not going to miss it later, really. You'll feel a whole lot better. You want to take care of yourself now, because later on, it's going to be better for you when you get older. I know a lot of people, going through a lot of hard times now because they were not eating right. They were not getting the exercise that their body needs, and now they're paying for it. Now they're forced to eat healthy. Their doctor's like, hey, you got to stop eating all this. You know, so instead of having your doctor force you to stop eating those foods, or have you work on eating those foods, start doing it today. That way you don't have to go through a lot of stuff like I knew a person had to go through. He had to go through a lot of, and it cost a lot of money down the road with his health insurance, like to go to the hospital, get this test done and that test done. So please work on your diet. And I can't make you do this. You got a free will to decide on your own to love yourself like the universe wants you. You'll feel a whole lot better. You'll feel more confident that hey, I am eating healthier, and so I do. I love you. You could give this video a thumbs up. You could share it with a friend, a family member, a cat, a dog. a fish. You have fish. So, yeah, you could, they are awesome. I love fish. They're not stupid. They know about people. I did know people. I'm not a fan of having fish in a fish tank because I know if I was a fish, I wouldn't want to be in a fish tank. But I do know people that have fish in a fish tank. They know when it's feeding time. They're like, ooh, they're coming to feed me. They do. They're not stupid. And so anyway, is besides sharing with your pets or family or friends, is that you also can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can leave a message down below. I can ring the notification bell. You can push the button. Um, you could leave a message down below. Bing, bing, bing. You can also follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight or on Facebook at Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. Anyway, I do love all of you. And, love yourself like the way the universe wants you to, really. You got to take care of yourself now while, you can. Because later on, you don't want to get those big high bills and go through the pain and suffering because you weren't eating right in the first place. A lot of times we do know what is right and wrong to eat. It's just that, we have to control ourselves and say, you know what? I love eating you, but I gotta let you go. So it's so important to let go of things and people that no longer serve you. If that food is no longer serving you, you know it's not good for you. You might have to let that go, and you'll feel a whole lot better knowing you did. Anyway, I do love all of you. This is Starlight, love and light. Peace.